This is section 3.3, the angle addition postulate. This is part 3 of our lesson. We're going to look at this definition. We've heard the word bisect before. Remember, that just means splits in half if you're talking about segments. Well, there's a bisector for angles also. A ray is a bisector of an angle if it splits the angle into two angles of equal measure. So this angle right here, angle CAD, is bisected by angle AB or ray AB. So what that means is these two little angles are exactly the same measure. Here's how we show that angles are congruent. We put matching arcs. That's one arc and that's one arc. We could also put two arcs on an angle, and if it was congruent to another angle, you'd put two arcs on it as well. This indicates the angles are congruent. So here's an example. Measure of angle CAD is 50. What's the measure of the two little angles? Well, they're both the same. So they're both 25. You just do 50 divided by 2. If they told you the measure of one of the small angles, then you would multiply by 2 to get the measure of the big angle. So when you see this word, bisector, it just means the problem is easy because the two measures are the same. Okay, so here's some easy examples. Ray LM bisects angle OLN. So we know this angle, whatever it is, it's the same as this angle measure. I stagger these arcs, that way it doesn't look like one big arc going across the big angle. These are two different arcs, same number of arcs, indicating that there's two different angles that have the same measure. Okay, so if a ray bisects an angle, then the two little angles are the same. If the measure of angle OLN, that's the big angle, if the whole thing is 130 degrees, what would these two little angles be? Well, 130 divided by 2 gives you 65. So our two little angles, measure of angle OLM and measure of angle MLN, would be 65 degrees each. Number 8, let's use the same picture, just with different numbers. Measure of angle OLM is 75. What's the measure of angle MLN? If this one's 75, what's this one? It's also 75. What's the measure of angle OLN? That's the big one. If you got two 75s, you could just add them together, or you could do 75 times 2. You get 150 for the big one. So when you see this word, it might make it seem like it's tougher. It's actually way, way easier.